Here's an update on the 10-gallon aquarium. This was the first tank that I installed a Plenum in, and I have read through a lot of comments on that first video. Several things. One was the water flow through the return stem here. And another suggestion was what are the ammonia, nitrate, and nitrate levels in this tank? So unfortunately, as I reach for my test kit here, I don't test for nitrates or nitrites, never have. The only time I did it was when I had my marine aquarium. So those test kits got thrown out when I sold the 90-gallon aquarium. So those test kits I don't have, and those test kits would have been at this point probably close to 8 years old. The only test kit I do have is I have ammonia test kits, a pH test kit, and a general hardness and KH test kit. The ammonia test kit actually expired in 2018, so I decided to run the test anyway. And according to this test, even though it's out of date, and although it's going to be difficult to see here, and the camera's not going to really pick up the color, but I can tell you, even in the light that I have here, it's registering 0. There are no ammonias in here. This tank is now 20 days old. This tank was completely redone about an hour before midnight. You can double check the timing of the uploading of that video. It was a little off because of technical difficulties. But in essence, the clock started ticking on this tank at 11 p.m. January 31st. So this tank is now a full 20 days old, going into 21. It'd be almost 21 days old, right? So not a single fish has died. Not a single plant has died. So it's kind of amazing. Even the plants that were transplanted, these crypts here, have not wilted or faded, and they've actually begun to take hold inside the tank. The other thing that I want to point out, and I'll bring the camera up closer, is that I have a stem of Anubias that I've had for quite some time. I've talked about it in some live events that it's never grown leaves, and this is the first time that this little 1 inch, 1.5, 1.25 inch stem has actually shown any signs of growth, specifically leaves. The algae in this tank has certainly subsided. It's nowhere near what this tank would have looked like without a plenum. I'm not saying the plenum's doing the job right now. My understanding, it's a full 90 days before this even gets up and running correctly. However, to account for the algae growth, I'm kind of attributing it to the floating plants up here in the tank that may be shading the light further deeper down into this tank. However, with the life I have in this tank, and really nothing changing, I'm really kind of surprised it's taking off as well as it has. So why don't we take a closer look here. So as we get up close to the tank, you're going to see that there is some algae growth on the rock. It's not healthy as far as I'm concerned. It's kind of white in this grayish color. It may just be barely hanging on. I do need to get in here and do some tank maintenance. I will take out any algae in there with a bottle brush and just twirl it around, get it out. It's a very effective way of doing it. The update on this particular plant, this hairgrass, I don't know the scientific name. It's beginning to go through some adjustment period, I guess. Some of the leaves have died back, faded away, and some new leaf growth is beginning to come in. I've not had luck with this plant in the past. I'm not really sure what to expect with it at this point. The only leaf that's faded away on the sword plant, and as you can see, it's fairly healthy. This portion here was already nicked up. It was like that. This leaf has yellowed and died. I did injure that branch stem during the transplant, so I am not surprised it's doing that. But as you can see, everybody's healthy. Look at the belly on that AutoCat. It's nice and round, even in these conditions. They do get fed some algae wafers, etc. So they do get fed. I do feed my fish. The Daniocyathits. Overall, it's doing very well. The German blue ram is doing well. So overall, we're very pleased with that. This particular system so far, and we'll keep the updates coming. And I will supposedly invest in some new nitrate and nitrite test kits to figure out and get a baseline. I don't have a baseline on this tank, but we'll get the test kit and begin to test the parameters. If I get a chance to do it, I'll go to the store this weekend and get some. So with that, that is the update on this tank. And hey, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, everyone.